The First Dynasty, the unification, and the beginning of a new era. From the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt until the end of the First Dynasty, we will go through every single king, talk about what he did and how his reign started and ended. In this video, we will generate more than 50 clips and images to help us tell the story of each pharaoh in an authentic pharaonic style. Let's begin. After King Minos unified Egypt and established the First Dynasty, Egypt entered a period of stability and prosperity after decades of chaos and civil wars between Upper and Lower Egypt. This is why the first kings of the First Dynasty are considered the founders of the Egyptian civilization. Let's start with King Menes, who was the first ruler of Egypt and the founder of the First Dynasty. He is considered one of the three greatest kings in ancient Egyptian history. According to tradition, he was the king who unified Upper and Lower Egypt and founded Memphis as the first capital of a unified Egypt. But unfortunately, there is no evidence to prove that King Menes was the first king of Egypt. And the only evidence we have for him is Manetho's list of kings, where he is listed as the first king of Egypt. Also, according to tradition, he reigned for 63 years. But it is highly unlikely that he ruled for such a long time, since the average reign of the kings of Egypt during the early dynastic period was around 20 to 40 years. There are several theories regarding the identity of King Menes. Some historians believe that he may have been a king from Abydos, while others believe that he was a king from Thebes. And some believe that he was just a local chief who was elevated to the throne after the unification of Egypt. We don't know much about him, but according to legend, he was deified after his death and became one of the gods of the Egyptian pantheon. His name, which is written in hieroglyphs as, means enduring or established, and he was often associated with the baboon god Thoth. Unfortunately, no physical evidence of his reign exists, so his legacy remains shrouded in mystery. King Namtihotep, successor of King Menes, continued his father's legacy and strengthened the new kingdom. He was considered a good and just king who cared for the welfare of his people. He was also credited with building the first pyramid at the top of the Mountain of the Gods, but it has been heavily restored by later rulers. It is believed that he ruled for 49 years and was succeeded by his son, King Jao. Unfortunately, not much is known about his reign or his accomplishments, and some historians believe that his reign was actually a part of his father's reign. According to the Turin king list, he reigned for 8 years before being succeeded by his son, King Teti. King Teti continued the legacy of his family and ruled over a prosperous and stable kingdom. During his reign, Egypt experienced a population boom due to the abundance of food and resources. The population grew rapidly, leading to the establishment of new settlements and cities throughout the kingdom. Agriculture flourished and trade routes expanded, bringing in new wealth and cultural influences from neighboring regions. As a result, Egypt became a center of commerce and cultural exchange. With the growth of cities and trade, specialized crafts and industries emerged. Artisans produced goods such as pottery, jewelry, and textiles, which not only met the needs of the growing population, but also created surplus for trade. The increase in population and economic activity also led to the development of more complex social structures. New administrative positions were created to manage the growing bureaucracy and to oversee the collection of taxes and the distribution of resources. In terms of monumental building projects, little is known about King Teti's contributions. However, his successor, King Unas, commissioned the construction of several large-scale projects, including the famous Pyramid of Unas at Dashur. It was the second largest pyramid built during the Old Kingdom and served as a burial place for King Unas. The pyramid's interior chambers contain some of the earliest known examples of hieroglyphic writing, providing valuable insights into the religious beliefs and funerary practices of the time. In addition to the pyramid, King Onas also commissioned the construction of several temples and other structures across the kingdom. These included a temple dedicated to the goddess Hathor at the site of El Kab and a mortuary temple at the Pyramid of Unas. Overall, King Unas's reign marked a significant period of building activity during the First Dynasty. His successors continued to invest in large-scale construction projects, contributing to the growth and development of Egyptian civilization. King Unas was succeeded by his son, King Shu. He was considered a weak and ineffective ruler who was unable to maintain the stability and prosperity of the kingdom. He was often overshadowed by his vizier, Queen Hetepheres, who effectively controlled the kingdom during his reign. She is credited with overseeing the construction of several important structures, including the famous Sphinx at Giza, as well as temples and other buildings across the kingdom. After his death, his wife, Queen Hetepheres, took over the throne and became the first woman to rule Egypt. She was a strong and capable leader who effectively governed the kingdom and maintained stability during a time of political uncertainty. Her reign was marked by economic prosperity and cultural achievements. She is also credited with overseeing the construction of several important structures, including the famous Sphinx at Giza, as well as temples and other buildings across the kingdom. Unfortunately, not much is known about her reign or her accomplishments, and she was succeeded by her son, King Khufu. He is considered one of the most iconic pharaohs in ancient Egyptian history and is best known for the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. King Khufu's reign marked a golden age in Egyptian history, known for its stability, prosperity, and cultural achievements. During his reign, Egypt reached its territorial peak, extending from the Sinai Peninsula in the east to the Libyan Desert in the west. Under his rule, Egypt became a hub of trade and cultural exchange, attracting merchants and diplomats from across the known world. The influx of wealth and ideas contributed to the flourishing of arts and crafts, with artisans producing exquisite works of jewelry, sculpture, and painting. Additionally, King Khufu's court was renowned for its intellectual atmosphere, with scholars and priests making significant contributions to mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. His successor, King Khafre, continued the dynasty's legacy of building impressive structures. Khafre built a number of temples and other buildings across the kingdom. He is also credited with overseeing the construction of the Sphinx, which was originally built as a mortuary temple for his father, King Khufu. The structure was designed with a human head and the body of a lion, symbolizing the pharaoh's power and majesty. Another notable accomplishment of King Khafre's reign was the expansion of the necropolis at Giza. He built a number of tombs and other structures in the area, including his own final resting place, the second largest pyramid at Giza. When King Menkaure ascended to the throne, he inherited a stable and prosperous kingdom. During his reign, he continued his predecessor's policies of promoting trade and cultural exchange. He is also credited with overseeing the construction of a number of temples and other buildings, including the mortuary temple at Giza. In addition to his building projects, King Menkaure is known for his involvement in the development of Egyptian art and architecture. His reign marked a shift towards a more refined and elegant style of art, with artists placing greater emphasis on symmetry, balance, and harmony. The temples and other structures built during his reign reflected this new artistic sensibility, with architects incorporating more intricate designs and decorations. King Menkaure's reign also saw the beginning of a new religious development in Egypt. While the traditional beliefs and practices of the Old Kingdom were still prevalent, new cults and religious centers began to emerge. One of the most significant developments was the rise of the cult of Ra, with the sun god becoming increasingly prominent in religious worship. Unfortunately, the First Dynasty came to an end when King Menkaure died and was succeeded by Queen Sobekneferu. She was the last ruler of the First Dynasty and the last female pharaoh of Egypt for nearly 700 years. During her reign, she faced a number of challenges, including internal rebellions and external threats. Despite these difficulties, she is credited with overseeing the completion of a number of building projects, including the Red Pyramid at Dashur. Her reign marked a turning point in Egyptian history, with the Old Kingdom coming to an end and the Middle Kingdom beginning. The end of the First Dynasty was a time of great change and upheaval in Egypt, setting the stage for the new era in Egyptian history. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel.